Tyson Fury returned to action this past Saturday. He defeated Dillian White in a fantastic performance. Uppercut from nowhere, lightning quick, knocks him out. Big party, 94,000, Wembley Stadium. Everyone's going crazy. And then in the post-fight interview, what happens? He calls over the undisputed heavyweight champion of the Ultimate Fighting Championship, the soon-to-be potential free agent one, Francis Le Predateur Ngannou. He calls him over to do a little tete-a-tete. And it was an unbelievable scene. It was a surreal scene. And so I had to ask Francis to come on the program to talk about this, how he's doing after the surgery, what his future is looking like, all that and more. Without further ado, let's go to the Zoom machine and say hello to the one and only Le Prédateur, Francis Ngannou. How are you, Francis? Thank you for doing this, my friend.
I'm doing good, Aria. And you?
I'm doing great. Wow, we have a lot to talk about. By the way, you look fantastic. You changed your hairstyle on us. You're doing the whole thing where you're shaving it down, you're letting it grow. What's going on over there?
No, I was getting bored, and I'm trying to like work on that, that magic potion to get it back. Some little secret some little spice that I put on my head to get my hair back, and it's coming back. So
it's working.
Good.
Is it working?
But I'm still gonna have my stuff. Yeah, it's been only 2 months. I have to wait until like probably 6 months to see the result, but I think it's working, which is great.
Okay. Well, it's great to have you again. Of course, the last time we had you on was in January, just 2 days after your win over Cyril Gane. It was, like I said, one of the, I think, most important interviews we've ever done on this show. And you talked a lot in that interview about your situation. I actually want to work backwards here. I want to start like more in like the last couple months and work our way to Saturday if I can. Just curious, we have never seen someone speak that openly in your position as a champion about the state of his situation, his contract, all that. Was there any negative repercussions that came your way as a result of the things that you said on this show back in January?
No, not at all. Listen, when you get to that point, I think it's all about like how free you speak, and I didn't care about any repercussion. And I think at this point, everybody kind of like understand that that's not my concern, and I'm not just afraid of anything, Basically, I'm not trying to offend anybody. I'm just trying to do what is right for me, which I think I should, because if I don't do that for myself, nobody is going to do that. I have to stand up for myself.
Have you been surprised or not at the support that you have received from your fellow UFC fighters?
No, I haven't been surprised because since the beginning, I always have the support of the UFC fighter. Even those who can speak out loud, they will come back this stage and whisper to me, to my ear, like, "Good job, Will. I like what you're doing." But I really understand their position that they can speak, because he might cost them a lot, or if it's not everything, So I understand that, and that's why I don't want to take this like get somebody involved, because I don't want somebody to like lose whatever he counting on for if he doesn't have a backup.
Okay, so I was going to ask, do you wish more people were speaking out, in your favor? It sounds like you're okay with what people are saying or what they're not saying publicly.
Yeah, because I understand them. It's easy for people from the outside to just say, "Oh, we think fighters should speak," or "We think some people will support you." No, it's not easy, bro. It's not easy. If they speak out loud in some and they don't in some position, you guess what? Next day they're out. They don't have any voice. They don't have a chance to speak twice at all. So you kind of understand that. You kind of understand the situation. I know what is it. I'm inside. So I can blame somebody. And if somebody say, "Yes, I stand by your side," guess what? I will tell him, "Don't do that, because he might go south. And I'm not sure you're going to handle this, but I can take it." Could you? I don't think so.
Have you had any serious, productive conversations, you or your management, your agent, Markel Martin, have any of you had any serious, productive conversations with the UFC about your future since the fight against Ciryl Gane?
Just after we spoke, we had a meeting with I would say a dinner with the UFC, and that wasn't about the contract situation. It was just like to clear the air, because it is clear that at this point, we have to clear the air. It was just trying to clean things out, speak things out, and we kind of like speak. And I was speaking about my frustration, but also I had to go back home, because it's not a thing that's supposed to be solved in one night or over one dinner or two dinners. So I think it might take some time. And I went home, see my family, came back and had a surgery. Couldn't go back for a long time. And then I had a dinner with Hunter a week ago. And it was great, but friendly dinner, no business involved. But as far as business, we haven't really moved on. I think just now is what they are trying to do, at least I would say, is like maybe clear the air.
Do you feel like the air has been cleared or is in the process of being cleared?
We will find out. It's really... I think there's a lot of work to do here.
At any of those dinners that you just mentioned or get-togethers, Dana White present?
Yes, Dana White was present in the first one.
How did that go?
He was present himself. It goes well, because he was just personal and has nothing to do business. And personally, I have nothing against anybody. My problem is just on the business side, which is not going good. I want the best for me, for my business, for as far as business concerned. So yeah, I think we can have the best personal relationship, but we have to also work out the business relationship as well.
Okay, and so then you have the surgery mid-March. Successful surgery?
Very successful, and the recovery been well. The doctor been great, and very happy about it. I had my surgery in LA with Dr. Nia Alatraj, and I saw him like last week. He was very happy about how he's going. I've been off crutches after 3 weeks and a half. Been doing my rehab at the UFCPI. They've been helping a lot about it. Get a lot of great help on the rehab and everything, have a very good work on my re-education at the PI. So it's been working pretty good, and it's been 5 weeks and a half now. And I've been off crutches for two weeks now.
Wow. And we're working up to Saturday. Of course, we saw you without crutches in the ring. I'm just curious, when you go to the PI, everything okay there? Is it, because of your situation, are they treating you okay? Is everyone being respectful, nice, warm, welcoming?
Listen, there's one thing that I want to clear now. Usually when the thing is not good, even with the UFC, when they say UFC, it's not people that work in the UFC. People that work in the UFC that you meet every day, always nice, but they are not, because they are not decision maker. They are not involved in that. They are not involved in your relationship with the decision maker. So I've been treated very good. They love me, they respect me, and I respect them. They're being nice I can't complain about anything at the PI,
So around a month and a half or so ago, we have the press conference, Tyson Fury, Dillian White. Tyson says he's done after this fight. He came on this show the day after the press conference, said, I'm done. This is my last fight. And then I asked him, well, what about the Francis stuff? What about this and that? He said, oh, no. That doesn't count. That's an exhibition. That's totally different. I want that fight. Okay, fine. Then he goes, you want him, you want him to look good. If he loses, maybe the interest in that dips, all that stuff. Well, we see what happened on Saturday, 94,000, Wembley. He looks fantastic. He knocks out Dillian White. And then we find out you're sitting in the front row with your agent, Markel Martin. So first, let me ask you, what did you think of his performance on Saturday?
Well, his performance was clear. Everyone saw it, great, amazing performance. The fight, with the fight going on, everybody always have a chance. But to get to the point that he finished in that way, very clear and sneaky, just make a statement on his own. He doesn't have to introduce himself today. Anybody kind of know who Tyson is, but that uppercut was so nice. You kind of okay, this guy, there is one more thing that I have to be careful on in the future. But, I think I can take it and I can give it back.
So now afterwards he wins, he's doing his post-fight interview with ESPN, and all of a sudden there's Francis Ngannou walking into the shot. Not only that, he calls you over. How did you get into the ring? Who let you into the ring?
Everybody let me in the ring. Nobody couldn't stand on my way. If you were there, could you stand on my way?
No, absolutely not. I would have rolled out the red carpet for you.
No.
Francis.
Yeah. Basically, if the man of the night doesn't have any problem with that, basically, if he invite me, nobody gonna stand between both of us.
Were you surprised that he brought you in during the live interview?
Yeah, I was a little surprised, to be honest. I didn't know that's what he's gonna do. I thought he's gonna maybe say something, but no, brought me in the octagon.
Okay, in the ring, by the way, it's a ring in boxing.
In the ring, yeah.
That's right.
I'm so used to octagon.
Okay, so when you guys are speaking, it's almost like you're both talking matter of fact. And what's so interesting about this, Francis, as I'm sure you would agree, your friend Kamaru Usman, pound for pound great. He's a tremendous fighter. He's been talking about Canelo recently. But let's be honest, Canelo hasn't really been talking about him. He's not that interested. In this case, Tyson is talking about you. He's calling you over. He's saying, I want this fight. Of course, we know that you want this fight. How close are we to actually making this fight legit, making this fight official, actually making Francis Ngannou versus Tyson Fury?
Well, I would say, I don't know how close is it, but I think it's very clear that this fight is going to happen because both of us, we want this fight. That's clear. And we respect each other, as you can see in the octagon. The guy just earned the moment. He was the man of the night. He could have just stand there and be cocky. I'm like, oh, I'm this, I'm that, But he called me in the ring and he speak to me very respectfully, as a champion, and I respect him as well. So I think it's going to happen. I think it's just a matter of our promotion, the situation, the contract situation, and everything. But we're going to sort this out at some point, probably next year, and this fight going to happen.
Realistically, given your knee situation, your rehab, when could you realistically fight again, in your opinion? What are they saying to you?
Potentially in November, but more likely in December, because in December I will be in the full cap of 9 months recovery. Even if my recovery seems to be faster, I still want to give myself more time to not to give any chance to re-injure that same knee.
So this times out with your contract because, as you've said, you're a free man as of December of this year, right? With the UFC, your contract is up end of December 2022, correct?
Yeah.
When you
that's exactly what it is.
When you sit down with the UFC, do you tell them about the Tyson? Is the Tyson Fury fight a part of the discussions, or are you thinking, I want to do the Tyson Fury fight on my own, and then maybe we could talk about signing with UFC? Because in this case, you can actually go out on your own and make this happen, right? If you wait till January, you're a free man.
Tyson Fury fight has to be part of the discussion. That's not an option. He has to be part of the discussion because if that's not part of the discussion now, he will never be. If I sign another contract now, and basically the same model of a contract, I'm screwed. That's not happening ever. So we have to figure out a way to implement this into a contract.
What I'm wondering is, if you're free as of December, why even sign? Why even bring the UFC involved? Why not just do this Tyson fight on your own?
Well, I think the UFC is a great promotion, and I want to keep fighting. Tyson Fury is not my last fight. I want to keep fighting. After Tyson Fury, there's still a lot of fight out there. There's the John Jones, there's Stipe, a trilogy with Stipe. There's still a big fight I can do in the UFC. So, and I would really like that to happen. I would really like us to get to a common point, After, yes, I can do a Tyson Fury on my own, but what next,
Okay.
I would like to keep fighting. I would like for us to come to a agreement, understand, but for that, I need they have to have a good understanding of the situation.
Okay, I understand. So would it be fair to say, in a perfect world for you, you come to an agreement with the UFC, and part of that agreement is to do this sort of co-promotion with Tyson Fury's team, and then after that fight, regardless of what happens, you go back to defending your heavyweight title, whether it's against these guys you've mentioned, Stipe, John Jones, etc. But you want this to be a part of the deal. You don't want to necessarily leave, go out on your own, but you want them to be on board with the making of this fight. Fair?
Yeah, because I believe that they can make it, doesn't matter how big it could be, the UFC can make it bigger.
Based on your discussions with them, are they interested in this? Are you getting that sense? Are they open to it?
It's really hard to say. As I said, we didn't talk. It wasn't a business talk, It wasn't really a business talk. So we didn't have to talk too much about business.
Okay. Do you feel like they were saying this on the broadcast? Tyson fights on ESPN. I know his deal with Top Rank is coming to an end, but he has the relationship. You have the relationship with UFC, who has the relationship with ESPN. It feels like in the past there have been a lot of roadblocks, but in this particular case, obviously your contract situation is a huge roadblock. If they could figure that out, it feels like this could be a relatively easy fight to make. Am I crazy? What do you think?
I think so. My contract situation is not a roadblock because either way, my contract situation will not stop me from fighting. So it's not a roadblock. Mm-hmm. So I think it's pretty easy. Tyson Fury contract situation as well is coming up probably soon, as you said. And therefore, there is nothing that can hold us from not doing it.
Could I ask, are you looking for a 50-50 split? What are you looking for? Because on Saturday, it wasn't 50-50, right, with Dillian. Dillian got a ton of money, $7 million, but it wasn't 50-50. What are you looking for?
50-50? What do you think?
I think you should get 60-40, Francis, for God's sakes. You're the UFC heavyweight champion.
No, I'm very generous, Ari.
That's right. Okay, fine.
You have to consider that 50-50.
50. Okay, fair enough. What do you say to the people? A lot of people, Francis, I've been kind of fighting on your behalf over the past couple of days, saying, no, Francis doesn't stand a chance. Tyson's going to knock him out, this and that. What do you say to all these people, these haters? Because I'm sure you get it too, crazy social media. What do you say to the people who say that you don't have a chance against Tyson Fury?
Well, then they don't know me. And that's even a good sign because I prevail the most when I'm underdog. I have heard that so many times in my life, but yet I'm here. Even in my last fight, I kind of hear those type of stuff, but I'm here, man. So until it happened, nobody can really know, and everybody can speculate. But he'll always be just a speculation and opinion. Mm-hmm. The real fight is the way that would give a result. That's the only moment that anybody could be sure of anything.
Watching him up close on Saturday, you see things in his game and you say, I could do this against him, I could do that. Like, I'm sure you were watching it with that careful eye. Did you take away a few things?
Exactly. Like, it's been 2 years that I've been watching Tyson very closely observing of his style, how he boxes, and what make it better. Yeah, I think over the past 2 years, I have collected a lot of data on Tyson who could potentially help me down the road.
And he seems into this idea of doing it with the MMA gloves. Are you down with the rules that he's talking about?
I think this fight, even though we can't really do it as a MMA fight, we can implement MMA rules in it, but just make something like, make it like a hybrid fight, something that make it feel a little bit uncomfortable as a boxer. MMA gloves, for example, that was my idea. Maybe barefoot or something.
Oh, wow.
You know, I don't know. We still have to figure this out. It's just some ideas, but we still have to figure this out.
Where do you think is the most realistic spot for the fight to happen?
The most realistic spot for the fight can happen either way, in Las Vegas, in London, in Middle East, in Africa. So this, for me, is the 4 locations that I have, but we can trim this down again.
And after the event on Saturday, I know we saw you guys talking on camera, but were there any other discussions that we didn't see? Anything else exchanged between you, your side, his side, anything like that?
No, we both know that it's going to happen. I won the fight. He won the fight. It's not a time yet. So there's not a discussion right now. We are just expressing our desire to make that fight happen.
But it sounds like in your mind, this is fait accompli, as they say, right? Like this is going to happen. It's not if, it's when.
Yeah, it's when.
Wow. And so for you, what do you...
I mean, can you say that? I mean, I think it's clear because there is something that is just obvious. You can do anything about it,
The next
over the time, we kind of like tease each other.
Yeah.
And then you get to a point that it seemed we're very close.
The next time we see you in action, you feel confident that it will be against Tyson Fury?
Yeah, I would say 70% chance that he'll be against Tyson Fury.
Wow. And the next time we see Tyson in action, do you think he will not do anything until he's talking about WWE stuff, but I'm talking about a real fight? You think it'll be against you?
Yeah, on his side, yeah. I think I would even say 90%.
Wow. And when you're sitting with the UFC, are they talking about John? Are they talking about Stipe too? Like, what are they proposing to you? Any names? Any timetable? Any number? Nothing.
They just talk about the timetable, like when can I be back and stuff like that. But right now I can't fight, so they were just asking when I could possibly be back, which is like the end of the year. And I feel like I could fight again.
When you visualize this fight with Tyson, how do you see it ending?
It can end either way, Arian. I mean, if somebody doubt that it can end either way, then he's out of his mind. He can, but in my perspective, and from how I see it, how I want it to be, and how I'm going to be working on it, is to be a best night for me and a bad night for Tyson. Not easy, but possible.
You think you could knock him out?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. 100% I believe I can knock it out. As I said, it's not easy, but it's possible.
Well, I have to say, I'm very excited about this. And, I've seen a lot of people, a lot of MMA people saying, I don't want to see this. Let me tell you something, Francis. I don't care if it makes me sound biased as that. I hope this happens. I want this to happen. I'm rooting for it to happen. If anyone knows anything about your story and what you have had to overcome and what you have been through throughout your life, I'm not just talking about as a fighter. I'm talking about as a young person trying to come and make a better life for themselves in Europe and everything that you've had to overcome. Most people would die in those situations. You deserve this, my friend. I hope you get 50 million, 80 million, 100 million for this. You deserve this. And anyone trying to stop this from happening, anyone standing in your way, anyone telling you that you're crazy for trying to make this happen, shame on them is what I say. Because if anyone deserves this, if anyone's been through enough crap over his life and had to overcome and is now standing tall on the verge of making millions, generational wealth, it's you, my friend. So I hope that it happens, and I hope no one stops this from happening.
Thank you very much, Ariane. But, you know, as I said, when you listen to, if you have ever listened to my workout music lately, it's God plans. You know, God's plan. When God's planned something, nothing can stand against it. And God have planned this for me, and it's about to happen. I don't care about the haters. I don't care about who say shit. First of all, their opinion doesn't matter. They're just, if you don't want it, step away, brother. Nobody invited you here. If you like it, you're welcome. That's just the thing. And your opinion will always be just an opinion. I mean, as much as I like you or not, is an opinion. That's the truth. What really matter at the end is what I want and what I will do. And here I've always been like that my entire life since day one. I have heard people say, oh, you can make it, or you can come from here and do it. I'm here. I'm a champion of the world, man, with all the doubt. So I prove all them wrong. So it seems like I'm very good at like getting people wrong, and I will get them wrong. And at the meantime, that by the time that I get them wrong, I will make my fan happy. I will make people that is behind me very happy, and I will be happy to get my fans get a win over them as well.
I love it. God's plan by Drake.
So yes, God planned by Drake. That's my workout music. Anyway. That speaks to me.
Yeah. I love that song.
Oh, brother, stick to journalism. Please. Let that.
All right. Francis, you're the man. I hope you make this happen. Speedy recovery. And by the way, and I should have started with this, my condolences on the passing of your uncle, Laurent, I believe his name was. I saw you posted.
Laurent, yes, Laurent. His name was Billy. Thank you very much. He was a great mentor for me. You know, the guy, he wasn't a close uncle, but he inspired me so much, and be there just by being a human that he was, you know, inspired me. And he has a big impact on my life, like wanted just to be maybe not what he was as a man, but at least a half of what he was. That for me, that would be a success in my life.
Thank you, Francis. Well said. Best of luck to you, and we'll talk to you soon. Thank you as always for the time. Good luck in making this happen.
Thank you, Ariane. It's a pleasure.